Ashmere changed after midnight. During the day, it pretended to be ordinary, crowded buses, flickering shop signs, voices overlapping in cafes. But at night, the city exhaled. Streets emptied. Lamps buzzed softly. Shadows stretched just a little too far, as if they were trying to remember older shapes. Lucien walked those streets like a ghost with purpose. He had avoided the cathedral since Elena's last visit. Not because it tempted him, but because it reminded him of warmth, of sound, of a living presence that had not recoiled from him. He had spent centuries mastering distance. One woman had undone it in 2 days. Lucien stopped at the edge of the river, where the water slid past stone embankments in near silence. He had crossed this river when it was younger, narrower, when lanterns floated on it during festivals long forgotten. He remembered names no one spoke anymore, faces erased by time, and now hers, Elena. Her name lingered in his thoughts like a bruise you couldn't stop pressing. Tomorrow, she had said. Tomorrow was a dangerous promise. Elena tried to work. She truly did. Her notebook lay open on the small table of her rented room. Pages filled with sketches of arches, notes on Ashmere's forgotten quarters, half-finished sentences about urban decay and emotional geography. It was good material, the kind professors liked. But her eyes kept drifting to the window. Night had fallen, again. She hadn't gone back to the cathedral, not yet. Something in her told her that returning too soon would break whatever fragile balance existed between them. Lucien was not a man who could be chased, but he was also not someone she could forget. She touched the small bandage on her finger, the cut already healing. The memory of his reaction replayed in her mind, how fast he had turned away, how tightly he'd clenched his fists, as if restraining something far worse than anger, fear, not of her, of himself. Elena stood, grabbed her coat, and left the room before she could overthink it. Lucien sensed her before he saw her. He always did. Her heartbeat was not loud, but it was distinct. A steady rhythm that cut through the city's background noise like a familiar melody. It quickened slightly as she approached the river path. "You're avoiding me," Elena said. Lucien remained facing the water. "I'm protecting you." She came to stand beside him, close enough that he could feel her warmth through the air. He did not move away. "From what?" she asked. "From becoming part of this," he said. "From becoming someone who waits for shadows to answer back." She folded her arms against the cold. "You don't get to decide that for me." Lucien finally looked at her. The city lights reflected in her eyes, alive and restless. She looked tired but determined. That frightened him more than fear ever could. "You should go home," he said. "You should stop pretending you don't want me here." The words landed between them, heavy and undeniable. Lucien exhaled slowly. "You don't understand what staying near me means." "Then explain it," she said softly. "Don't push me away with silence." For a moment, he thought of leaving, of stepping back into the dark, letting the river swallow his reflection. It would be easy. It always was, but Elena didn't move. So he spoke. "I have watched people grow old from this same bridge," he said. "I have seen lovers promise forever and mean it only to die decades later, believing it lasted." Elena listened without interrupting. "I don't change," he continued. "Everything else does." "That doesn't make you dangerous," she said. "Yes," Lucien replied quietly. "It does." They walked, not side by side at first, but close enough that their shadows overlapped on the pavement. Ashmere's older district unfolded around them, narrow streets, shuttered windows, remnants of a city that had learned to hide its past rather than bury it. "You've never told me how long you've been alone," Elena said. Lucien almost laughed. long enough that the number no longer matters. She glanced at him. Does it bother you? It used to, and now? Now I know loneliness is safer than attachment. Elena stopped walking. Lucien took another step before realizing she wasn't beside him anymore. He turned back. She stood beneath a street lamp, face illuminated in pale gold. Safe doesn't mean empty, she said. He held her gaze. Empty can be peaceful. And is it? She asked. Lucien had no answer. They reached the railway bridge just as a distant train horn echoed through the city. The tracks were rarely used now, but the bridge remained a scar across the river, iron and stone refusing to disappear. Lucien leaned against the railing. Elena stood across from him, hands resting on the cold metal. I found records, she said. He stiffened. Not everything, she added quickly. Just fragments, a name, a date, a fire. Lucien closed his eyes. I didn't come to confront you, Elena said. I came because I wanted you to know I wasn't afraid when I read it. You should be, he said. Why? Because the man you read about doesn't exist anymore. She stepped closer. He exists right now. Lucien opened his eyes. Their faces were closer than before. Too close. He could smell her shampoo, feel the heat of her breath in the cold air. If you keep doing this, he said, voice low, I will lose control. Elena's pulse jumped. I don't want you to hurt me. I don't want to, he said. That's the problem. The train passed beneath the bridge, shaking the metal beneath their feet. Elena reached out instinctively, and her hand brushed his chest. Lucien froze. Not hunger. Not rage. Something far worse. He covered her hand with his own, firm but trembling. Don't, he whispered. Tell me to leave, she said. He didn't. Lucien stayed that night. Not with her. Not beside her. But in the city. He watched her walk home from the rooftop opposite her building, ensuring no one followed. He listened to her heartbeat slow as she slept. He stood guard against threats she didn't know existed. And for the first time in centuries, staying felt heavier than leaving. The next evening, Ashmere remembered him. Lucien sensed it before he saw it, the shift in the air. The way shadows bent too eagerly. He had been careless. Presence attracted attention. Always had. He felt it when Elena stepped into the cathedral again. You came back, he said from the shadows. She smiled. You didn't leave, not yet. Her smile faded slightly. Something's wrong. Lucien studied her, then nodded once. Yes. What? You're not the only one who noticed me. The air darkened, as if the cathedral itself was listening. Elena's heart raced. What does that mean? Lucien stepped closer, placing himself between her and the nave. It means, he said, that staying near me will no longer be harmless. Elena swallowed but did not step back. Then don't protect me by pushing me away, she said. Protect me by telling me the truth. Lucien looked at her for a long time. Then he spoke the words he had avoided for centuries. There are others, like me, he said, and not all of them remember how to stop. The cathedral bells rang once. Somewhere in the city, something answered. Lucien reached for Elena's hand, no hesitation this time. If you stay, he said, your life will never be ordinary again. She squeezed his fingers. I wasn't looking for ordinary, and for the first time since his death, Lucien chose not to run. Some immortals hide from love, others hunt it.